हॅलो, हितेश, आवाज येतोय?
हो सर, येतोय. तुम्हाला येतोय माझा?
हा, चला स्टार्ट करा तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन.
सर, आउटलाईन घेऊ का पेपर 3 वर?
हा,
आउटलाईन घेऊ का पेपर 3 वर?
काय
म्हटलं, आउटलाईन घेऊ का पेपर 3 घेऊ म्हटलं ते असं.
अच्छा, पेपर सेमिनार द्या ना.
ओके, पेपर 3 घेतो
किंवा आउटलाईन द्या अगोदर.
हो हो,
आउटलाईन कर पाहिजे. पीपीटी शेअर करता का इकडनं करू?
हो, करतो सर.
ओके,
आली सर स्क्रीन.
हा, आली स्क्रीन.
Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, THAKARE'S. Today we are here for the PPT presentation for the outline. I, under guidance of Dr. Manoj Kumar J. Gaikwad, and now I present my presentation of outline. The research title of my outline: the comparative study about effect of policies and its execution by government on the development of tribal communities in Nandurbar and Tapi district. Here in this slide, we have present our guide and myself for introductions. So next slide is introduction. The strategies introduction. The strategies and schemes are very important to develop the countries. In India, many scheme implementation are going for development of rural and urban society. Tribals are found in all over world. In world population, they are from a major segment. In the world, they denoted by the different names like tribals, primitive, indigenous, native, aboriginals, and ancient peoples. India has 8.6% tribal population out of the total population of the countries. Generally, the tribal people are living in hill area, forest area, forest regions, and mountains, and they spend a very simple lifestyle. The person who is live in forest is called as forest dwellers and Vanvasi. In the other terms, they call as Adivashi. Adi means original and Vasi means inhabitants. They are fully depends on nature. In our country, hundreds of schemes are running for social protection and development of tribals like housing, food, maternity benefits, child welfare, agriculture, skill developments, health, agri equipment schemes, old age supports, pensions, education. These schemes are in form loans and subsidies also. Definition of tribals. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, the tribes means a group of peoples, often of related families, who live together, sharing the same language, culture, and history, especially those who do not live in towns or city. Another definition of tribes. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a group of peoples of the same race and with the same customs, language, same religions, etc., living in particular area and often having one leader known as a chief. We are saying the same definition is almost show the African countries. Many African areas, the one person is chief and the others are follow them also. Importance of the study. This study focused on the tribal development scheme and strategies with the implementation and identify the merits and demerits of tribal schemes and strategies of state government and central government. This study focused on current scheme for tribals for life, lifestyle, poverty, health, education, and leakage problems to develop the better life of tribal peoples and their families. The study of the Nandurbar district in Maharashtra and Tapi district of Gujarat state will give a proper situation of tribal peoples, which will help to the administrator, planner, policy makers, and employees to come the real and the proper problems of the tribals, and the government take effective steps and solve their problems. The significance of study of more utilize state and central government schemes and involve the planning for the development of tribal peoples in Nandurbar and Tapi district. Keywords: tribal communities, social, cultural, educational, economical status, government welfare schemes, and strategies and standard of living. Here, I decided the objectives for the outline and the PhD thesis. First objective, to know the tribal communities in the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Second objective, to study the social, cultural, educational, economical status of tribal communities in Nandurbar and Tapi district. Third objective is to understand policies framed by government for the development of tribal communities. Four objectives, to understand policies executed by government for the development of tribal communities. The fifth objective is to study the impact of government policies and schemes on development of tribal communities. The last and sixth objective is to compare the effect of government policies schemes on development of tribal communities between Nandurbar and Tapi district. In the slide of the hypothesis, in hypothesis we have framed null and alternative hypothesis. The comparative study, that's why we have designed the null and alternative hypothesis. The first null hypothesis is there is no significant impact of government policies schemes on development of tribal community in Nandurbar and Tapi district. And the alternative hypothesis is there is a significant impact of government policies schemes on development of tribal communities in Nandurbar and Tapi district. Second hypothesis is there is no significant difference between effect of government policies schemes on development of tribal communities among Nandurbar and Tapi district. An alternative hypothesis is there is significant difference between effect of government policies schemes on development of tribal communities among Nandurbar and Tapi district. Another hypothesis is there is no significant difference between policies framed and policies executed by government for development of tribal communities in Nandurbar and Tapi district. An alternative hypothesis is there is significant difference between policies framed and policies executed by government for the development of tribal communities in Nandurbar and Tapi district. Another hypothesis is people from tribal communities are not aware about the policies by government for development of tribal communities. An alternative hypothesis is people from tribal communities are aware about the policies by government for development of tribal communities. The last hypothesis is social, cultural, educational, and economical status of tribal communities is equivalent with rest of communities. An alternative hypothesis is social, cultural, educational, and economical status of tribal communities is not for equivalent with rest of communities. Scope and limitation of the study area. In the study, period of the study is related with the research period. Another scope is area for the study is Nandurbar district, Maharashtra, and Tapi district is Gujarat. Another limitation scope. This study is only on tribal welfare scheme and strategies of their implementations of Nandurbar and Tapi district for the microanalysis for various problems. Another is the reliability and accuracy of the study depend on authorized information supplied from respondent. Another is the study is limited to only Nandurbar district and Tapi district. Research methodology. In research methodology, we have use of both primary and secondary data also. The researchers collect information for the primary data research to going to the use of questionnaire method to collect the data from samples of tribal peoples. The questionnaire will be distributed the samples to respondents through hard copy for getting information. And secondary data, the researcher collects the information about the tribal welfare schemes and their implementation in Nandurbar and Tapi district from all type of related published documents, reports of reputed journals, articles, government and other publications, books, websites, newspapers, and magazines also. Sample designing. The researcher will be use a questionnaire method and simple random sampling for data collection. Nandurbar district including talukas Akkalkuwa, Akrani, Nandurbar, Shahda, Nawapur, and Tapi district including talukas in Vihara, Songad, Uchal, Nijar, and Walur. In this table, we have present us percentage of people's population of tribal population in this district. In the Nandurbar district, total tribal population is 69.28%. As per the talukas, Akkalkuwa talukas 85.25%, Akrani taluka 95.94%, Taluda taluka 77.4%, Shahda taluka 54.2%, Nandurbar taluka 45.57%, and Nawapur taluka almost 86%. The total population of Nandurbar district 69.28% of tribals. Here in this table, we present of tribal population of Tapi district. Tapi district total tribal population is 84.18%, and taluka wise we can see the Vihara is almost 85%, Songad is 85%, Uchal taluka is 98.05%, Nijar taluka 80.82%, and Walur taluka 71.63%. The total tribal population in Tapi district 84.18%. The all data recorded as per the census 2011. Tahsil wise villages of Nandurbar and Tapi district. Here total villages of Nandurbar district is 939 and Tapi district is 455 villages. Respondents selected. In this table, we have select respondents like district tribal development employees, means officers also. There is total 11 talukas. It's Maharashtra, Nandurbar and Tapi district, and 3 officers, 3 employees each tahsils. Samples villages, every 11 talukas. So we have decided to 5 towns, 5 villages for sampling, and select respondents 10 peoples per villages, and as per the total is 638 total respondents we have selected. As the researcher will analyze the information provided in the table given above, the select 11 tahsils and each 3 tribal development employees, 5 villages in every tahsils, and 10 samples each villages for study by using questionnaire method for cover the entire research area for all tahsils of Nandurbar and Tapi district. tools and techniques analysis. There is a analysis techniques. The researcher will be use different types of tools and techniques. Simple statistical analysis, including measure of center tendency, measure of dispersion, correlation, regression, testing of hypothesis, graphical presentation will be used as per requirement. Also, researcher will use the standard statistical tools, chi-square, test, t-test for data evaluation and this presentation as per the requirement of data for proper and realistic conclusion. Thank you. Thank you for your.
हॅलो.
हाँ सर.
जगताप सर. हॅलो. जगताप सर आवाज येतोय का?
हो येतोय सर.
सर काही असेल तर आपलं सजेशन करावं प्लीज.
आपलं पेपर होता का?
नाही हे आउटलाईन होती.
आउटलाईन आहे सर.
आउटलाईन होती.
हो सर.
हो.
प्रकरणांची रचना केली आउटलाईन मध्ये?
नाही सर. हो पीपीटी मध्ये नाहीये सर, पण बाकी याच्यात आहे सर, पेपर मध्ये हार्ड कॉपी मध्ये.
कोणती पद्धत वापरली तुम्ही रिसर्च साठी? संशोधनासाठी कोणती पद्धत वापरणार आहे?
क्वेश्चनरसाठी सर एक क्वेश्चनर रेडी करू सॅम्पल टेस्टिंग साठी, आणि त्यानंतर डिपेंड ऑन कंडिशन्स आपल्याला काय काय वापरता येईल त्या हिशोबाने वापरू.
आणि ते तर आपली ही पद्धती झाली. असं वर्णनात्मक पद्धती
नाही सर, क्वेश्चनर पद्धत,
सर्वेक्षणात्मक पद्धती
नाही सर, सिंपल क्वेश्चनर पद्धत वापरतो.
आणि निवडसाठी कोणती पद्धत वापरणार? नमुना निवड, सॅम्पलिंग टेक्निक्स नमुना निवडसाठी. नमुना निवडलाय ना कितीतरी 638 वाटतं काहीतरी नमुना निवडलाय तुम्ही?
हो सर, हो सर.
त्यासाठी कोणती पद्धत आहे नमुना निवडची? म्हणजे सहितूक
त्याच्यात सर सॅम्पल टेस्टिंगच वापरून सिंपल पद्धतच वापरायची सर.
ठीक आहे, छान.
सिंपल पद्धतच वापरायची. बाकी त्यानंतर ज्याप्रमाणे आपल्याला लागलं त्याच्यात सर 11 तालुक्यात सर तापी आणि नंदुरबार मिळून सर. त्याच्यातून आपल्याला 3 प्रत्येक तालुक्याचे 3 एम्प्लॉई घ्यायचे. त्यानंतर
त्या तालुक्यांमधून गावं कोणती निवडली?
गावं सर त्याच्यात असं आहे सर, गावं आपण असं फिक्स नाही करू शकत, कारण की सर ऑलमोस्ट 1000 गावं नंदुरबार मध्ये, आणि त्यानंतर 450-450च्या ऑलमोस्ट गावं तापी जिल्ह्यात आहेत. त्याच्यातून आपण 55 गावं निवडणार आहेत, आणि 55 गावं असे निवडून की त्याच्यात त्याचा परिणाम इफेक्ट आपल्याला जे आपलं ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आहेत, पॅटिसेस आहेत सर, ते फुलफिल करता येईल आपल्याला. आपण जर आधी नावं लिहून दिले आणि त्याच्यात परत आपले जे हायपोथेसिस ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह हे जर फुलफिल झाल्यासारखं नाही वाटलं तर ते आणखी प्रॉब्लेम्स येतील. मग परत ते त्याच्यापेक्षा सर तिथं मेन्शन नाही केले कोणते गाव, पण 55 आपण तिथं गावं घेणार आहोत.
काही हे नाही त्याच्यामध्ये, बाकी बरोबर आहे सर. काय सर?
ओके का सर?
हो ओके. फक्त कसं मग गाव वगैरे निवडले तर बरं.
आता निवडून आपण संशोधन काम पुढे करू.
तर बाकी ओके. चांगला मी बघितली आवड, त्यांनी सही आहे.
हा तुम्हाला सही घेताना पाहिले तुम्ही.
हो.
प्राचार्य साहेबांना विनंती आहे, काही सजेशन. प्राचार्य साहेबांना म्हटलं विनंती आहे, काही सजेशन करतात. एन पाटील सर. नाही आहे वाटत सर. पाटील सर आवाज येत नाही तुमचा.
हा आला आता?
हो सर,
आता येतोय.
हा येस.
काही सजेशन असतील तर सांगा त्याला कॅन्डिडेटला.
ओके, युअर आउटलाईन इज व्हेरी गुड.
ओके सर, थँक्यू सर.
नो सजेशन्स?
ओके सर, थँक्यू.
ओके सर, थँक्यू सर.
हा सेमिनार प्रेझेंट करा आता.
हो सर.
चांगलं होतं. ते चांगलं होतं पण आवाज प्रॉब्लेम.
म्हटलं माझा विषय हाच होता. गायकवाड सर.
सर तुम्ही सांगितलं होते.
म्हटलं नंदुरबार जिल्ह्यातील आदिवासींच्या आर्थिक व सामाजिक जीवनावर शासकीय विकास योजनांचे परिणाम. चला प्रेझेंट करा.
Good afternoon, sir. Here I present my seminar of pre-PhD theory coursework paper 3 guide course, seminar on tribal problems, under guidance of Dr. Manoj Kumar J. Gaikwad. Research guide is VN Naik College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Shahada District, Nandurbar. Introduction of tribal problems. The tribal population is found in almost every parts of the world. India is largest tribal population country in the world. It's 8.6% of total population. India has 573 scheduled tribes spread in all over the states and union territories. There is a tribal problems. There are number of problems that the tribals are facing today. These problems are to create the complications toward the part of development, like land acquisition. This is the major problem in tribals. Forest, shifting cultivations, ecological, health, and education. These 6 tribal problems is every state, every tribal people are facing nowadays. Land alienations. Land alienations is alienation of land is a major problem faced by the tribals. About 83% of tribals are engaged in agriculture. The tribals have a great emotional attachment of land. Agriculture is one of the major source of livelihood. Forest. Forests are closely related with the tribal economy and culture. There is a symbolic relationship between the forest and tribals. These are the source of livelihood. The tribals get food, fruits, roots, herbs, honey, and many more. Shifting cultivation. Nowadays, last 4 to 5 years, we almost read and see in the shifting cultivation problem in hill area like Assam, Meghalaya, Kerala, like in these states. Shifting cultivation is an age-old institution of Indian tribes. Hill cultivation, also known as the shifting cultivation. In the shifting cultivation, a big land or area of forest is selected to the shifting cultivation. The plants and trees are cut and burnt. After a few weeks, the tribals either throw some seeds or digging a hole when the monsoon starts. The shifting cultivation process is going on every 2 or 3 years. They destroy a big land of forest. It's also create an ecological imbalance in the region. Ecological. The tribes are depends upon on the forest for the livelihood. Now their access to the forest and its resources, it's controlled by the law. The commercial explosion of forest and establishment of a big project like dams, Iduki hydroelectric projects lead to the large-scale deforestation and displacement of the tribals. Are not directly beneficial to the tribes. It's A commercial purpose of damage the delicate ecological balance. Health. The tribals of India face a great deal of hardship of medical treatment. The lack of modern facilities and absence of basic amenities such as drinking water, etc., are the cause of suffering on the various diseases and illnesses. Another problem is public health among the Indian tribes. Concern is shortage of medical persons and qualified nurses. Education. This is a major problem of tribals area. School building play an important role in growth of education among the tribal folk due to the mismanagement, bungling, and sometimes financial concentrate. The buildings seldom suitable to run as education institute. Another problem is the numbers of teachers. Most primary schools in tribal area are single teachers managed, whose presence in the school is more on expectation than duty. Thank you very much, sir. The seminar first is over.
सेकंड सुरू करा. सेकंड सेमिनार केलाय.
हो सर. Okay, चालू करो सर. The second seminar on pre-PhD theory course of paper 3, child labor in India is still high. Under guidance of Dr. Manoj Kumar J. Gaikwad, Research Guide, VN Naik, College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Shada, District, Nandurbar. Child labor in India is still high. Who is a child? Accordingly, Indian government's age under 14 years is considered to be a child. International conventions define children as age of 18 and under is a child. Who is labor? The person who work in daily wages basis on the day when he or she has the work opportunities open for him or her rest sites. Ideal on other days is terms as labor. What is a child labor? Child labor means the employment of a children in any work with or without payment or minimum payments. Lawyers Club India. The definition designed by Lawyers Club India. The term child labor signifies the employment of children is gainful occupation with a view to earn income for the family. Where do child labor lives? In the world, 60% child labor in Asia, 32% in Africa, 7% in Latin America, and 1% child labor in US, like Canada, Europe, and other wealth nations. Child labor in India. India has 4.35 million child laborers aged between 5 to 14 years, working in medium, small, and micro enterprise, and the total child population is 259.64 millions. In that age group, which 2000, that age group. This information given is a 2001 Indian Census report. Mostly child labor are belonging to poor families and backward areas as well as backward categories as SC, ST, and OBC categories. In India, about the 70% child labor in agriculture and the rest of them. Child labor are work in other sectors and industries like trade, transport, hotels, match industry, rock industry, diamond industry, textile industry, garment industry, beauty industries, mines industry, and many children also work in hazardous industry. What caused the child labor today? Poverty is widely considered to top reason why children work in inappropriate jobs for their age. But there are other reasons as well. They are abuse of child labor, lack of education, good school, health care, uncaring attitudes of employers. How can we help to reduce the child labor? Learn about the issues, support organizations that are raising awareness, provide direct help to individual children. Some solutions to child labor: increase family income, education that helps children learn skills that will help them earn a living, social services that helps children and families survive crises such as diseases or loss of home and shelters. Family control of fertilities, so that families are not burdened by children. Is the references and bibliographies, the google.com higher organizations, UNICEF or organizations, .com, Save Children's India, and NSS reports. Thank you. So, Zohar is the second seminar, so this over.
Okay. हॅलो.
हाँ सर.
जगताप सर. हॅलो. जगताप सर आवाज येतोय? हॅलो.
आवाज येतोय तुम्हाला?
हा सर, आता येतोय आवाज. काही सुचवायचं आहे?
सर व्यवस्थित आहे, सर्व विषय वगैरे सर्व व्यवस्थित आहे. फक्त कसं सर आपल्याशी संबंधित नाहीये, ते पेपर सारखं नाही झालं, रिसर्च पेपर सारखं. बाकी काही विषय वगैरे कंटेंट वगैरे सगळं बरोबर, तर आपल्या पेपरचे हिशोबाने बघत होतो
सर. त्याच्यात कसं सर मेजॉरिटी सर आपण बघितलं ना तर ट्रायबल एरियामध्ये चाइल्ड लेबर पण तेवढंच जास्त आहे.
हा, त्याच्यात ट्रायबलचा रेफरन्स नाही, त्या ट्रायबल मध्ये असतातच भरपूर, पेपर मध्ये त्याचा उल्लेख नाही आला, असं म्हणायचंय सरांना. आता नवीन जेव्हा तुम्ही पेपर तयार करणार हा चाइल्ड लेबरचा तयार करायचा. समारोप करू मग.
बाकी व्यवस्थित आहे, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. ओके
सर, थँक्यू सर.
ओके सर, थँक्यू सर.
आज जवळपास 2 ह्युमॅनिटीज मधून मिस्टर निलेश रमेश कोडी आणि विशाल हौसे अर्थशास्त्रामधून आणि कॉमर्स अँड मॅनेजमेंट फॅकल्टीतून हितेश ठाकरे यांनी या तिघांनी आज आपले आउटलाईन 2 सेमिनार आणि एक रिव्ह्यू पेपर सादरीकरण केलं. अत्यंत चांगलं असं सादरीकरण त्यांचं झालं. या सादरीकरणाच्या वेळेस आमच्या महाविद्यालयाचे प्राचार्य आणि ARC कमिटीचे चेअरमन प्राचार्य AN पाटील सर आणि या कमिटीमध्ये असणारे सन्माननीय सदस्य प्रशांत बोबडे, अविनाश निकम, DR जगताप सर आणि स्वतः आमचे प्राचार्य AN पाटील सर यांनी बहुमल असं योगदान दिलं. वेळात वेळ काढून बराच वेळपासून आमचे प्राचार्य सकाळपासून आमचं प्रेझेंटेशन सुरू आहे, हिंदीचा आणि मराठीचा आणि अर्थशास्त्राचे 3. बराच वेळपासून ते आमच्या ऑनलाईन या कार्यक्रमामध्ये सहभागी आहेत. मी आपले सर्वांचे मनापासून आभार मानतो आणि यापुढे असं सहकार्य आमच्या रिसर्चरला राहू द्या ही विनंती करतो आणि थांबतो. थँक्यू
सर. सर
हा
आर्टिकलचं बाकी राहील सर.
हा
आर्टिकलचं बाकी सर.
हा राहू दे आता, खूप वेळ झालाय. ते आता हार्ड कॉपी पाठवून द्या तुम्ही मला मेल.
काय नाही.
हो
हो, थँक्यू.